I always hear the same complaint about Animal Crossing. Why can't we have our own island on the same console? Why do we always have to share an island? New Horizons and Animal Crossing in general always has one issue that we've all tried to get around. In every Animal Crossing game, we're only allowed to have one town or island per console, or back in the day, per memory card. This isn't just a greedy decision by Nintendo, even though it may seem that way. We've had to share an island or town with other players on our consoles forever. Whenever you make a new save file or profile, you get a new house, but not a completely new area. Everyone is always sharing. The only way to get a brand new island and still have the original save exist is to get an entirely new Switch. You can't just make a new profile or a new Nintendo account. That's right, you need to drop $300 to have an extra console hanging around your real-life house if you want your own cozy space. It's a pain. I get it. I would love to only have one system and be able to play my own game while other people can also share the system and create their own island. But that's just not how it works. This seems like an archaic choice. Back in the day, memory cards could only hold a fraction of the data that we can hold today. An Animal Crossing GameCube file took up so much space on a memory card that Nintendo ended up packaging an Animal Crossing themed memory card with every copy of the game, so you didn't have to delete any of your data from other games to make room for your huge town. Which does make it seem like this was initially done because of a memory issue. But that's actually not the reason. Animal Crossing was created based on a very specific situation. Series creator Katsuya Iguchi wanted to play a game with his kid, but due to their opposite schedules, they could never find the time to sit down and play simultaneously. So he came up with a way to play a game with his family without having to be available at the same time. In Animal Crossing, everything you do affects the other players who also have houses in your town. Like buying things from Nooks makes the items sold out for everyone else. Sending letters to animal villagers makes you the talk of the town, and they show the letters to other people, so be careful what you put in the letters. Burying pitfalls everywhere just to mess with your friends. There are so many ways to play a game with someone without having to actually play a game with them. You still get to play a game together and share an experience, even if you aren't simultaneously sitting next to each other. Players getting their own town or island completely ruins the entire idea that Animal Crossing was built on. This game exists so that you can play with your family without playing with your family. Letting us play on separate towns completely ruins that idea. It's the theme and the basis that Animal Crossing was created for. Does that mean you have to like it? Of course not. But I don't see Nintendo changing this anytime soon. It's more than just a greedy decision to sell more Switches, even though it ends up working in their favor that way. The way the game works is important to the charm of the series, and it always has been this way. I know there were workarounds in the past, like in the GameCube days you could just get another memory card, or in the 3DS games you just popped another SD card in, but you can't do that anymore with the Switch. Because of Nintendo's reasoning, I've accepted that things are probably going to stay the way they are. We're never going to get our own islands or towns on the same console. However, the next game ends up choosing between island, town, or space, or whatever it ends up being. Even with every change of mechanic or quality of life differences over the year, this theme has stayed true, which is even more evidence that this feature is here to stay. I mean, we're a god and can completely adjust everything about the land that we're on, create water sources, throw our most hated villagers in pits, but we still have to live next door to our family, and that's just the way things are going to stay. This isn't the only feature that has stayed true to the original idea of the series. We're still fishing, we're still catching bugs that we happen across, we're exploring this brand new land that we've been thrown into. Nook is still being greedy Nook. We're decorating our houses, sending mail, living our best lives in a brand new area, just trying to find our way in this new space. These are the themes that will always stay true to Animal Crossing, and either fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you feel, we're always going to be sharing the experience with the people around us. Because that's the way the devs want it to be, so that's the way it's going to be. I know we have multiplayer now and your friends or your family, you can go visit someone else's island, but again, that doesn't work if you have different schedules with your parents. They can't just go to your island. So instead, they just join you on your island. I know most of these videos lately have been speculating about the next game in the series, but this is all I can think about right now, especially with the new console coming out in, at the time of recording this, 2 weeks. We've had New Horizons for 5 years. We're very much due for a switch to Animal Crossing. I mean, we do still need a holiday game, right? Even though it's probably going to be Pokemon, but we can dream. I'm optimistic we'll see some kind of news in the next year. Whether or not the game will be out then is up in the air, but this IP is so big. Nintendo can't just ignore us forever. Oh, there's something brewing. I can feel it. He can feel it too. Sorry about the shorter video. I just wanted to talk about this because I always see people calling Nintendo greedy or out of touch because of the inability to have your own island. And while I'm not defending Nintendo's money-making practices, they are a for-profit business and make some questionable choices that are pretty much only for their benefit and their shareholders' benefits. It is nice to have a pretty reasonable explanation as to why we can't have our own islands and why we won't have our own islands. Whether or not you agree with it, there is a legit gameplay reason, and it's kind of the core of why Animal Crossing exists in the first place. Do you enjoy sharing a town with your family? Or would you rather have your own spot? Let me know down below, subscribe, or Nook will steal your bank account, and I'll see you next time. Bye!